Hey guys and girls, you're probably a little confused right now while you're seeing me, Mitch Sanders. I'm also a YouTuber on Crypto Teen's channel. Crypto Teen actually came down with strep throat. He couldn't do the interview. He was kind of raspy and wanted to really nail this and knock it out of the park. So he's asked me to jump on. I'm in Australia, so my time zones are all whack, but we've been able to make it work. And I'm jumping on with Alec from NFT.com to just basically grill him for you guys and ask him a bunch of questions. They're launching this new platform and it's really, really cool. There's a lot of stuff going on. They've got a lot of partnerships in the pipeline and they're really set to do some great stuff. This is not their first startup. So, they've been around this world before and they're quite literally hitting the ground running. So, I'm also going to be dropping a little Easter egg at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And yeah, without further ado, Alec, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it.
Hey Mitch, thanks for having me. I appreciate you having me on the show. This is great.
Cool, man. So yeah, you are literally days away from launch. When is the official launch date?
Yeah, so the official launch date is April 26th at 7 p.m. EDT. Right now, we're kind of leading up to letting the first 10,000 people into the ecosystem. So NFT.com is a creator-centric and community-led platform for Web3. It's really kind of a digital home for your digital goods. And starting on April 26th and leading through the following week, we're going to be selling what are called Genesis keys, and these are essentially fully animated key NFTs that provide you access to 2 custom profiles on NFT.com.
So what is NFT.com? What does it do? And you're right in the launch phase right now. So I'm guessing you're probably getting heaps of sleep. You're getting heaps of sleep and you're definitely not drinking coffee, right?
No, of course not. No. Yeah. So I guess to provide a little bit of info about what NFT.com is, right? So NFT.com is a community-led and creator-driven platform for the Web3 ecosystem. The way we see it is that there are a lot of these kind of marketplaces out there for NFTs, but they're kind of lacking a couple core missing pieces, and we're aiming to kind of fill those gaps. And those kind of take form in a few different ways. The first of which is profiles. We look at the gallery experience that people have now, where it's people are spending 10, 50, $100,000 on some of these NFTs, and they're just kind of all slammed together with other useless stuff in your wallet. And it's not really the way you'd want to display very expensive art. Nor important valuable assets. So we're kind of flipping the profile experience on its head right now and providing fully customizable profile galleries where you can resize things, adjust things, hide things, move things around, and really just put a personal touch on how you display your Web3 experience.
Well, that sounds really cool. So kind of like what MySpace did 15, 16 years ago, where you're able to actually build your own page and customize it the way you do. Unlike something like Facebook, where you just upload photos and it sits where it sits, and you just kind of deal with it. Is that pretty much online?
Yeah, it's funny. We've definitely kind of likened it to a little bit of the MySpace thing. I talk with our head of content a lot, and one of the things that we kind of share ideologies on is that the internet has gotten a lot less creative over the last 10 years. It's all
very
really pretty now.
Stuck on what
exactly.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're hoping, what we see with what's happening with Web3 and NFTs is this whole creative renaissance and creative revolution, and we're looking for ways to enable that and really kind of be stewards and servants of what is an amazing individualized creative revolution that's taking place right now.
Yeah, I love it. And it's so interesting. You go through school and go through high school and you kind of get pegged into different, groups or boxes. And society kind of, hammers you into, you got to, fit and work a certain way. And it's so cool to start to see, as, high school and university and stuff is finished, everyone's branching out and they're starting to focus on the things that they love and really getting creative. And I'm seeing more and more people take advantage of this in the form of NFTs, in the form of, the type of or style that they have is really coming out. It's come from, web 1 was, read a page. Web 2 was start to contribute, and Web 3 is really make it your home. Make it personalized as yours. And I love that. So, one of the really cool things, and I'll let you talk about it, is you've got the ability with minting one of these spaces as your own URL, like you would on Facebook or MySpace, and then customizing it. So can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Well, the like right now, the profile experience is not just limited to things like OpenSea. We've been experiencing profiles since the MySpace days, Twitter, Facebook, such like that. And the creative flair is something that people, pretty much everyone enjoys. The problem is though, is that what we're doing right now is we're building our brands and who we are and our representation of ourselves on other people's land. At the end of the day, I don't own my Twitter profile. I don't own my Facebook profile, but on NFT.com, you do. So if you build brand value into NFT.com/Mitch or NFT.com/Alec, I can now take that and then resell that somewhere or just keep it for myself. And, the possibilities of what you can do through kind of truly owning that and owning the, whatever comes with that, is kind of limitless. So there's some limitations of like what I can share right now, but we're having a lot of fun with like building and kind of ideating on the possible with these.
Yeah, that's really cool. So I could essentially go and register something like /Formula One, or one of
Yeah.
the big brands, and I couldn't sell Formula One merchandise, but potentially I could license that to them and lease that space if I am the Genesis key holder of that. Is that am I following correctly?
No, yeah, you are. When it comes to like, but what's functional and possible kind of at launch, like that would be something that you would kind of take on your own. But one of the things that we're really big into at NFT.com is we're all about kind of working with the community rather than working like above the community and then like listening a little bit. Now we take all of the feedback that we're given very, very seriously. And one of the things that I enjoy doing in companies is developing a nice feedback loop so that people, we can take the feedback from the community immediately and then adjust the product as fit, to provide the best experience. So, when it comes to, minting something like Formula One, or, I mean, it really any brand name at all, you have to be concerned and considerate about copyright infringement. But outside of that, the sky's the limit a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good question. Like where does copyright law or trademark law kind of stand with those? Like the age-old domain squatting thing. I know personally, I owned a business and I owned the trademark, but I didn't own the domain name. And I was through, costly court proceedings, I was able to force that owner of that domain to give it to me, because I owned the trademark. But in reverse, I'm sure Formula One, they are renowned for sending lawsuits out to people for using the brand. I'm sure they wouldn't like it. How does that kind of work?
I'm sure. Well, one of the things that we tell people, when they're coming to NFT.com and minting a profile is that, you need to be mindful of what you're doing. If you're minting Formula One to, just host cool NFTs and you like the name and that's great, then that's fine. The second you begin copyright infringement, that's kind of something where, within the legal bounds, we may have to take action. But ideally as a platform, we don't really want to take actions like that. We would like to be, we would like to for this to be pretty much, community led, community managed, and we avoid that at all possible. Outside of that, though, we don't have much control that we plan on taking over the platform too. We discourage hate speech on the platform, but outside of that, let your imagination run wild.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the domain. It's super short, super punctual, and I know that the term NFT is getting a lot of search volume on Google at the moment. Like, is that the end goal for you guys, is to create that sort of mass adoption, to create this space for both beginners, a 13, 14-year-old kid that might be really interested in a certain type of art, wants to release a collection, or an 80-year-old who's, doing oil painting. Is that kind of like the overall goal for you guys, is mass adoption to the green market as well as seasoned crypto enthusiasts, or what?
Yeah, it's the cool part of owning a domain like NFT.com. It means that you get access to, and you have the ultimate channel for pretty much every bucket of an experience of someone who might be looking into NFTs, right? You have your hyper crypto and NFT centric people, your people who already know what they're doing, use OpenSea, use IC tools and other resources like that. Then you have people who are like crypto native, you know, they've purchased some crypto, they may have made a transaction or two, but they've never touched an NFT, very much don't understand why people are spending $100,000 on pictures. And then you have people who are like, what is this internet monopoly money? Why is it even remotely relevant? And ultimately, one of the things that we kind of root ourselves in is, all ships rise with the tide. So the more that we can help educate and bring discoverability to people who might be concerned or have reservations about why they should even play in kind of the crypto universe, the better we all do, and the more it benefits the entire market. My background personally is as a musician and an artist first. And with that, I know that there's a lot of artists out there who are like kind of struggling to find ways to monetize their work. The really incredible part is over the past year, graphic designers and visual artists have had an absolute rocket ship of a ride in the ability to monetize their work. The majority, it's kind of funny. I talked to my friends in the industry for creating live visuals, and no one can get anyone to work anymore because everyone's in the NFT space. But at the end of the day, it's a beautiful thing because people are getting paid fairly for their work now.
Fairly, what they're worth, rather than it 90%
Exactly.
going to the agency, and then they're struggling to pay their rent and food to stay alive. Yeah, I love that.
Exactly. And I just see this as an opportunity to help kind of forward that vision and make the experience for other creators better. I, as a musician, it's pretty brutal out there, and anything we can do to make the creative space more monetizable, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of my questions actually. How does this change the world? And I think you've kind of summed that up really well. But what I'd like to ask a little bit deeper than that is, what other areas outside of the usual or typical do you think this can benefit? Like obviously artists, whether they're graphic designers or making physical art, musicians, people who do video or modeling. But what's some like abstract niches that NFTs can help that no one's really talking about?
That's a really interesting question. So NFTs are a lot bigger than I think people realize. I like to always kind of root things in their most basic of concept. Really, it's a singular, individualized digital item, right? It's the thing that you don't want replicated, right? And yeah, you don't want it split into pieces, and ideally, you don't want it replicated. It's a way to show ownership of a unique thing. As our world becomes increasingly digital, we are going to need to basically have a representation or trackability of all of these items that exist in digital space. The more that we get into AR and VR, right, augmented reality and virtual reality, the more the things like that we wear on our bodies in AR, VR, or the things that our avatars wear, those will all have status and value, and you can create that status and value by proving ownership, which comes down to an NFT token. So if you extrapolate on that and look at like the future of various metaverses, digital spaces, and places where our human experience can be replicated digitally, there are so many things that can be represented by NFTs. They serve the function really well. And that's not to say new token standards won't emerge. I've been in crypto for probably 6-7 years now, and the token standards change and for the better. They improve.
Security increases, and hacks happen, and people learn a lot of stuff. So you're right. The standardization will continue to evolve, just like it did in the late 90s before we had SSL certificates. So
exactly.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, the idea of having a singular item, that's represented in digital space that can't be, replicated. It can be replicated, but exactly who owns it.
Yes.
That's a valuable concept. And that's kind of what we're hoping to create the ultimate hub for here.
And just to follow on that, like, why do you personally care so much? Why is this your mission? Because you're very passionate about this, and you can see, like, I know you shared a little bit about your musician side of things, and you've obviously got some friends in that space as well. So, like, what is that core passion behind it for you?
Yeah. I have to provide a little bit of, I guess, like background context. So I got into the cryptocurrency space after being brutally poor in Los Angeles as an artist. I was doing pretty well, actually. I was like playing shows and having a good time, but the money just isn't there. And it's really, really hard to monetize, especially if you're not going out and like doing show things, which is where the primary source of revenue comes from for a lot of music artists. At that time, I realized very quickly I had a friend who was doing rather well in like the finance space and things, and I reached out and I was like, "Hey, I just want to learn like what's going on. Like, can you teach me how to trade stocks? Can you teach me what this whole crypto thing is about?" Worked for him for a little while, and right as he was looking into the Hashgraph algorithm, and
Oh,
then we went on to be the founding team members of Hedera Hashgraph. And that's
oh
kind of where I
wow.
got my foot in the door for like marketing and learning how to build communities. And that was one of the coolest things about crypto was that like, everything is powered by communities, by individual people who find things interesting and talk about it. And, they feel passionate about what it is. And then they have a mark on the end result.
Mm.
Um, the thing is with that project though, it was a bit more enterprise grade, and with nft.com it was an opportunity to do something much closer to the ground, or closer to the community. Instead of being some like corporation above everything, we get to build it hand in hand with everyone, and that's what gets me super excited. I get to talk to our community every day in Discord. I get to jump on calls with them, and have and Jordan's doing Twitter Spaces, and we're going to be doing more Discord stages, and just the ability to create a really tight feedback loop between community feedback and what we're building is something that gets me super excited. And who knows, maybe one day it'll affect music industry and make things much better for artists.
No, that's really good, and I love your passion. It definitely shines through. And I guess being a new platform, like what do you see are some of the challenges that may arise in the coming weeks and or months?
Well, I mean, it's funny. That's a funny question. Like Coinbase NFT launched like what 2 days ago, I want to say. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there isn't competition in the space. I would say our feature sets are three. There's the profile gallery experience, which I feel that we have a very unique take on. There's an analytics hub that we plan to build and bake into the platform. And we have some amazing developers that have been working really hard on that, to kind of bring all of these amazing tools that exist in the ecosystem into one place. And then lastly, eventually a marketplace, where you can buy and sell and trade NFTs. Our big differentiator, though, is kind of that community driven side where we're working with the community here. And the way that we do that will be more kind of filled out post sale. But and I can't share all the details yet, but it's pretty exciting to be able to have a platform that is really working with the community rather than away from them and then handing down products. So that's kind of the big differentiator we see. I think initially the real big thing that's going to set us apart is the profile experience. This is, like I mentioned, your digital home for your digital goods. It's your NFTs and your digital items with a personal touch, and we
It's your
invite people to
digital
come and
wristwatch, right?
yeah.
It's quite literally your digital wristwatch.
I mean, yeah, a little bit, I mean, and because there are those items and things. And, when I look to, like I mentioned, when I was speculating about the future and all those crazy things that NFTs can be used for, um, you know, each of whatever your path in Web3 is, you're going to need a different experience, right? If you're selling, parcels in a metaverse, that's going to be shown in a very different way than someone who's just trying to show off their Bored Apes.
Yeah.
So we aim to
Or
kind
the,
of
or the
enable.
musician or the artist that's physically selling digital
Exactly.
copies of their art is showing it way differently to the person that's flexing their Ferrari watches.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly it. So that's kind of our big differentiator, I think.
And I also love the fact that you're getting, real feedback in real time from the community.
Mhm.
In all the businesses that I've built over the years, which I've had quite a few founder positions myself, and I've built several very successful businesses. The ones that have done really, really well are where you are literally getting direct feedback, like in real time from your customer and saying, "Hey, what do you need here?" Because you can
Yeah.
have what's called imposter syndrome, which is you can assume so much about your market, which is based on your own bias and your own like conformative bias from what you've gone through in your life, and you project that onto your market, and then your market doesn't necessarily have those same feelings or have that same context. So
Yeah.
the fact that you're asking them questions, you're doing spaces, you're doing different interviews with them, that is really, really helpful for you to mold and manage the rollout of new features to the platform. So I really love that. I also noticed this morning that your Discord's grown to like 35,000 members, and there's like 5,000 online. Like that's phenomenal. When did you actually launch the Discord?
So we launched the Discord way too early, actually. We had a small Telegram community, but a Telegram is getting really, really spammy. And I really enjoy Discord as a platform that has a lot more form and function. So we moved everyone over there, and then we were very quietly building for many months. I think that was like probably late 2021. And then, things really started picking up and over the last few months.
Yeah, the next question I got for you is, what came first? Was it with chicken and the egg? Was it the domain name first? Was it the idea? What was first?
Yeah, so our founder Jordan Freed, he is obsessed with domains, like absolutely obsessed. He's been buying these things like from since he was little, like stealing his parents' credit card and buying domains and like all that kind of stuff. So, Immutable Holdings, the parent company of NFT.com, actually owns a variety of other interesting subsidiaries. They've got 1-800-Bitcoin, CBDC.com, central bank digital currency, HBAR.com, and a couple others. And the idea behind Immutable Holdings is really to be the Web3 venture studio, where we can find really interesting products and business concepts and then develop them into something special to add value to the Web3 space. So we definitely secured the domain before we had any idea what we were doing with it. Jordan actually secured it in January of 2021 before any of this chaos really popped off.
I was about to ask, are you allowed to share how much you paid for it?
I think I can't. I don't want to get the number wrong. So if for everyone watching, I might be wrong. Go watch a Jordan Freed video. I think it was somewhere around 2 million.
That is like, for what it's worth now. I'd put it over 10, easily over 10.
Yeah. They the person who sold it to him came back very quickly after and was like, "We will pay you many times over for this thing." Jordan's like, "No."
Yeah, probably in like March or April, when like everything just went absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So he when once he secured that, it was only an upward trend from there. So obviously they're not going to sell at that point. We've definitely had some pretty wild offers for it. But at the end of the day, we're building something now. So we like to make cool projects, and that's kind of what we're here for.
Awesome. And just tell me a little bit about the team. So it's how many people do you have now? How much has it grown? When did you officially start? Like, when did you start building? Was it like mid 2021 or?
Yeah, about mid 2021 was when we started really like starting to dig heavily into NFT.com and ideate and come up with how this concept was going to function. We scrapped a lot of ideas, to be honest with you. It's definitely, it's not, you don't find it on your first try, but over time, with an amazing team and a lot of brain power, we get stuff done. The team is actually pretty small. We've got, I want to say, let me think here, probably got like 5 or 6 people on like the entirety of kind of like the marketing and Discord front. And then we have, a handful of developers. And then, we have some amazing, like kind of internal people who handle a variety of other components for the company. So I want to say we're not very large at all. Definitely under 100, maybe under 50. I'm not sure. But it's obviously we're probably going to scale very quickly after this launch, but absolutely. It's kind of one of those things where, as much as I'd like to scale right now, we don't even have the time to do that. So.
Yeah, that's why I joked at the start and said, I'm sure you're not drinking coffee and you go to bed at 7, 8 p.m. every night right now. Yeah.
Just the best sleep of my life. You know what I mean?
Giving you like 5 days out for launch. No, very, very cool. Very, very cool. And I guess you've been so insightful. You've given so many great answers to these questions. It's definitely very off the cuff. And how does everyone get involved? So like, talk about Genesis keys. Talk about what people get. Talk about how to get involved. And I'll put a link on the screen as well. So
Great. Yeah. So NFT.com is going to be releasing the access to these profiles kind of in a similar model to like Clubhouse or the early days of Gmail, where we will have kind of a founding group of people who will get access to the platform, and then from there those people will slowly invite more, and then we have other mechanics to kind of slowly open those gates to let more and more people come and get profiles. Ultimately, we want everyone to have their own type of profile, and then a market I'm sure will emerge about for specific ones that have really good names or really short names or whatever's popular. The way to get one of these profiles though is one of the 10,000 Genesis keys. So these are a full 10,000 collection of unique NFT keys with varying traits and rarities. I think there's almost over 900,000 possible combinations for these. We worked really hard with an incredible design team out of Poland. They are phenomenal. Thank you guys. They were great to work with. And with one of these keys, you will be a founding member of the NFT.com community. You'll get to participate in exclusive events and exclusive conversations in our Discord channel where we'll be listening and having conversations about the future of the platform. And then from there, you will also get to mint your 2 NFT.com profiles. So each one of these can be your profile of choice, and you get to mint whatever you'd like. Something to note too. So these will go on sale starting on the 26th, but they're becoming available in 2 parts. That first 3,000 of them will be sold on Tuesday, April 26th. We're going to have a blind auction, and that's going to last for about 48 hours. So submit a bid for what you want to pay for a Genesis key or what you think it's worth. The top 3,000 bids will win a Genesis key, but you will only have to pay the price of the first losing bid. So the 3,000 first bid is going to set the price that all of the winners are going to pay. We did this to make it kind of whale proof, and that way people weren't paying like exorbitant amounts of money for a key. And then a week later on May 2nd at 7 p.m., we're going to have our public sale where we will sell the remaining keys to the public at the median price of the top 3,000 bids. So somewhere around bid 1,500 is where the price of the public sale will be. I know this is probably like a little bit complex for just a regular NFT, not a regular NFT sale, but any NFT sale.
It is.
But the reason we're doing this is really to let the community kind of decide the price and the value of an NFT. I think there's a lot
I think it'll do really well, and I think it's definitely like it's whale insurance for sure.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of projects that kind of just pick a number and go, hey, this is what we're going to sell them for, and that's well and good, but it comes with some problems because you either massively undershoot and miss a great opportunity, or you massively overshoot and people don't have access to your collection. So ultimately, we don't know. We're really intrigued to see what the community thinks these things are worth.
And that comes back down to getting that feedback in real time. Like, I think that is really, really valuable. And I think that really shows, how much strides ahead you are from others in the space. So yeah, I'm locked in. I'm definitely gonna get my 2 keys. I'm really curious to see some of the ones that come out of the token sale. And yeah, I really appreciate your time, Alec. It's been super informative. I'm excited to be a part of the launch of the platform. I'm excited to get my Genesis keys as well. And is there anything else you wanted to say kind of before we sign this off?
Well, we invite you to make a home at NFT.com. Please join us. We really invite the creators, the builders, the futurists, the artists, and really everyone in between, the people, the individuals who make Web3 special. We want your insight. We want to hear what you think the NFT space and the Web3 space needs to be more successful and to grow and to flourish. And we're here to support you. So let us know. Join us in Discord, yell at us, tell us what you think.
Awesome. And Keen, thank you so much for having me on here. As always, like and subscribe and share this video. The link to my channel is below. I do a lot of crypto content as well as a bunch of racing stuff kind of intertwined. And as promised at the start of the video, the little Easter egg, which if you go and click the link below, go subscribe to my channel, you'll be able to watch the video tomorrow. And I'm going to be asking this man a question that I've been dying to ask him that I'm really excited to see what he has to say. So that's it for Team's channel. Alec, thank you so much. You have a great evening. It's morning time where I am, so I'm gonna start my day now, and I'll speak to you soon.
Good stuff. Take care. Bye.
All right, so that's it done and dusted. Alec, you did so well.
Thanks,
now,
man. Appreciate
to
it.
be asking you that question. So
Let's do
it. You are quite literally on the ground, behind the scenes, knowing what's going on in that space. So I want to ask you personally, like if you are looking to create your two Genesis T domains, what do you think has the most benefit? And give some examples. Like, obviously don't give away ones that you're going to keep for yourself. A lot of people are going for the Bored Ape Yacht Club, they're going for Nike, they're going for Formula One, they're going for like the traditional like places that they think they can profit the most from by renting it or leasing it back to these brands. What's some ideas? Give away a couple that you don't really care if someone pinches, and also give some ideas on what you think will be a big space for my viewers.
Well, it's an interesting thing. So as staff and all the you'll see there's a reserve 250 for staff, team, partners, things like that, artists. And we've done our best to work with some of these people to reserve certain profiles for people who are helping to grow our ecosystem or in really NFT native people and such. But it's not an exhaustive list. And at the end of the day, I guarantee you there's gonna be people who come to us later like, hey, I want to work with you guys. Can we get this domain? And someone's probably going to have grabbed it. And we can't go out there and just reserve everything off Twitter or anything. So, as team too, something else I'd like to note is that we are barred from participating in the blind auction. So if you do participate in the blind auction, you're going to have the actual best crack at getting one of these, the one that you want. When it comes to what people may demand or may find more interesting than other profiles, I would say definitely anything that's crypto centric. I could imagine, I don't know, I wonder if anyone is going to mint like NFTcom / like Ethereum and then like Bitcoin and all those, right? There's like the coins that you can go for. You can go for like stocks, which would be kind of interesting, and like companies.
Like Tesla
yeah. And the other thing to think about too is like like maybe it could be like things like Coin Shop or like like Item Shop or like Adventure Shop or something. And then if you have NFTcom / say Adventure Shop, and then an adventure style game comes out in Web3 and crypto, what do you know? Now you're like that's like the de facto NFTcom profile for adventure game items on your on our platform. So you got to kind of, I guess, imagine like where things going, and that's I guess that's kind of the fun of investment, is no one has
absolutely, and you can't steal Alec's name because that's his.
Yeah, no, I'm reserving that one. Just fair warning.
Just fair play. So
fight me, Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about it, but a celebrity's names would be another really good one. I'm sure some of them probably copyrighted or trademark, but
a little careful.
Would be something that would be pretty cool. What I did is I did a Google search and I looked at the most expensive domain names ever purchased. So hotels.com, casino.com, investing.com, slots. There's a like porn. Obviously, you wouldn't get porn, but like there's
that's smart.
All the
I didn't even think of that
domain. So yeah, I've definitely got mine. I haven't given any of mine away, but mine are based off,
those are the decoys.
Yeah, they're the decoys. Mine are based off generic terms because my thought process is if you create a hotel space where you're essentially giving tickets away to access different hotels or that sort of thing. The mind really can come up with so many different ideas. There's so much opportunity in the NFT space. But
Yeah, that's an interesting topic too, because one of the things that we didn't touch on is that there is an entire in real life play to NFTs too when it comes to access passes.
Yeah.
Especially as like our mobile devices become more advanced. Like we're already seeing some mobile devices with built-in like cold storage wallets and things like
Yeah.
that, where now you can hold one of these types of passes, and hotels would be a really interesting one, especially if you have special passes to it.
And events like EDC or the various different festivals are not just in America or not just in Europe or Australia, but all around the world. What's a generic term? Seminars. There's so
Just
many different
festival
possibilities.
conferences.
Yeah, conferences.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd imagine a lot of people are going to be doing like BAYC and MAYC for Bored Apes and Mutant Apes. There's people that'll just go apes. There's people that'll do Bitcoin and Ethereum, but put your thinking cap on what is it that you could create by registering some of these spaces. So
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I'm so excited to be part of this. Like there's
Thank
definitely
you.
a lot that you guys are doing, and I'm super excited for where it's going to be in the next 6, 12, 18 months.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up when when more of NFT.com is available and rolled out. I can't wait to share more of the feature sets with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully now that Australian borders are unlocked, I can start attending some of these US events. It's been killing me. Like all my influencer friends are like showing photos and everything from like Bitcoin conference in Miami, and I'm just stuck here on my little island riding kangaroos.
That's great. Well, it'll be good to have you over. Come on by. You'll have to stop by Puerto Rico sometime. We're based out of Puerto Rico.
Oh wow,
so,
very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome,
Well,
man.
stuff, man.
Signing off. Cue the outro. If you want to support the channel, go and download my Crypto Fast Start Guide by going to cryptofaststartguide.com. I'm also giving away $100,000 in crypto. All you have to do is go and watch this video and the previous 7 videos and comment on it to be in the draw to win. Make sure you go and check out Max Wright's webinar. He's talking about a training where $10,000 invested wisely today can give you a passive income of $100,000 per year in just 18 months if you take this easy step today. So go and register for this webinar. There is a lot of great content in there. You're going to learn a lot as a bare minimum, and it's going to completely change your life as a maximum. The link is in the description for this webinar. It's also up here. If you have crypto and you want to earn up to 8%, use BlockFi. You can sign up using the link on the screen there or the link in the description. You can also borrow against your cryptocurrency rather than triggering capital gains events. I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a tax accountant, so I'm not actually giving you financial advice, but I'd definitely recommend speaking to someone who knows your situation. You can actually get $250 in crypto as a bonus when you transfer $100 or more into this wallet. And then finally, grab a Crypto.com card and grab a Crypto.com account. You can get a free $25 sign-up bonus by going to this link, and the beauty of this is you can transfer crypto to your card and be able to spend it real time in shops. So as always, support the channel because the more I get support from these affiliate offers, the more I'm actually putting into this campaign in order to give away to you guys. So that's it from me. I really enjoyed making this video for you. If you really enjoyed this content and you like these short kind of punchy videos, make sure to leave a comment below and just give me some feedback there. Again, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.